Welcome again to Summit, the program where we discuss national issues. And of course, you know by now that every information you get on this program are always factual. Today, we'll be looking at reviewing the second year anniversary of President Bola Tinubu, tagged the Renewed Hope Agenda. And that agenda is a transformative policy thrust aimed at repositioning Nigeria as a prime global investment destination. The agenda focuses on several key factors or areas, including economic development, democracy and governance, security, infrastructure development, job creation and poverty reduction, human capital development, among so many other sectors in the Nigerian economy. So today on the program, our question is, how has this agenda fared to Nigeria and to Nigerians in the 2 years administration of President Bola Tinubu? And to discuss this with me this morning, I have someone who is very vast when it comes to issues of governance in Nigeria, Mr. Razak Ulukoba. He's a public affairs analyst and, of course, a friend of Summit. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Good to have you on the program.
Good morning.
Okay, so we are still celebrating the second year anniversary of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Now, how will you say that this administration with its Renewed Hope agenda has fared or is faring?
Well, thank you very much for that question. Let's do a preamble by preparing our mind before we proceed that we knew very well, except for Nigerians who want to deceive themselves, that we'll be going at this pace. The pace at which it's going now, which is calculated, which is stabilizing, which is more of someone who has understood the terrain better. And having said that, we then begin to look at all other sectors. We can see that what needs to be done is being done about it. Now, the question now is, are we seeing the proceed of what he's doing from all the sectors? By any area of assessment, for me, he has done very well. And it speaks for itself. Of course, anybody that is coming after 8 years, 16 years of PDP, 8 years of Buhari, should not expect that the next person will not encounter challenges. Don't let us deceive ourselves.
That's a fact.
And that's a fact. So, and if we are prepared our mind with that, we won't have a headache over what the president is doing. Let's start from security because it revolves around all other issues, which is the question of security. Because if you are not at peace, the question of health, economy, all those issues will not be easy to sort out in terms of challenges we have about it. So it's an inheritance. The challenge of security in Nigeria is an inheritance. And an inheritance, and someone will also orchestrate it as a nation. We orchestrated it. Day one, we know very well that the security architecture of this country is very, very faulty. So if day in, day out, you keep handing over a rickety security structure to each succeeding president, you should expect that the challenge will be mounting. With Obasanjo, it kept mounting. When Nigeria Adua kept mounting. When Jonathan came, it became very scary. So Buhari also came, and we were in our mind, this is it's going to be unending up until Tinubu. Tinubu decimated them in the last one and a half years. But 6 months to this period, area is ugly again, and that's going to be the picture. Except Nigerians took that decision to do something about the architecture of this country in terms of security. So, to me, he's doing his best with the structure we have handed over to him. And we have to do the needful. Needful in the sense that we must also guide our president. We must guide the government.
Yes, we all know that the security situation in Nigeria.
Now coming to the economy.
No, I still want to ask a little question on this issue of insecurity. Since the president came into office, of course, insecurity was quite high, even during former President Buhari's administration. But since he came into office, in your own opinion, has he done anything different? Are things better? Are things worse?
Yes, he's done some things that has impressed me with the structure in place, which is he has emboldened the officers, the men that is in charge of security, which is making the necessary provision and accompanying them to do the required training.
But President Buhari too kept doing that.
That's what I'm saying.
He kept giving instructions.
That's what I kept saying, that it's going to be. Yes, that's going to be the picture. Except Nigerians took that decision. See, you can't hand over this kind of a challenging institution to Obasanjo, and you expect him to put our country in the same pedestal with other countries who has a working security institution. It's not. It can't be possible. So it was a bit challenging at Obasanjo's time, and it's expected that it will keep escalating as each succeeding president come on board. When Obasanjo left, the tempo increased during Yar'Adua and Jonathan's time. It increased. It was not because Obasanjo didn't understand the security, not had the knowledge on how to do. It's what you handed over to him. The same thing Jonathan, the same thing Tinubu, Buhari, and now Tinubu. So blameless our leaders. I have always warned that leave your security chiefs alone, the army chief, the naval chief, the Air Force chief, leave them alone. It's a mismanagement of our national institution to think that what a layer of security can handle, you are giving it to the army, the navy, and the Air Force. See, challenging of insecurity in the state is best addressed by the state layers who will know what is the genesis of a particular insecurity.
But the president is not towing that direction.
It is what you handed over to him. And it has been made difficult to change it by the governors. Except for Lagos and other states, all of them are not embracing this new layer of security that we are talking about, that there should be a complementary role. You should assign more responsibility to the governors on how to secure their state. So for me, with what Obasanjo has done at his own time, Yar'Adua and Jonathan Buhari, I'm impressed. Because the structure is designed in a way to look as if it was not meant to work. That's the picture I have in mind as an administrator. As a charter, I've examined the architecture of this security in terms of security. And now imagine, how do we secure Nigeria with this kind of rickety structure? So for any president that's been able to make Nigeria, half of the population sleep with their eyes closed, he has done well. Except, that's why I said, it's more of what we want them to do now than what they should be doing. If you want them to succeed, hand them over more tools to be able to work.
To the governor?
Yes. No, to the president.
Okay.
Give the president a marching order, guide him, supervise him to such an extent that he will be assertive to the governors that this is your responsibility. You have to come and pick them up. For instance, look at Benue. Benue procured some arms for the people in the village to secure arms with alliances. And the DSS seized it. And you do not have the required understanding of Benue as much as the Benue people. And there's no enabling law that gives the state, the citizens, that power to be able to secure themselves. It's a contradiction. We'll keep having this kind of challenge. Now, they came with forest guard. The same error with the federal police. The forest guard will be under the leadership of environment and national security advisor. Is a photocopy of the federal police. Because in Lagos, we need cosmopolitan police. Which forests are we guarding in Lagos? In the desert, it's desert police. In the creek, maybe it's a sea police. So, and that's how it runs. All over the world, you name your security after
your terrain.
The terrain. Rookies, sheriffs, the marshals, transport police, forest guards.
Makes sense.
It makes sense for state to design what they want. Now, we turn around to now say that there's insecurity in the land. So for me, it's more of telling the president that we don't want you to succeed with this structure. So, and for any president that's been able to get to the point we are today, it's commendable. Now,
all right. Okay.
And that is why,
let's not stake too much on.
and that is why if you look at the security,
sectors.
that's why if you look at the economy of the nation, you see, we need more education for Nigeria to understand that the world today is a world where
Things keep
transaction of any country is done through borrowing. It's a transactional thing. It's not loan. Is a facility by bank. It's
Are we talking about economic policies?
Yeah,
now?
economic policy. It's a transaction. There's no how your country and my country can transact again without passing through facilities. Look at the sukuk. Even if our country had money to offer, it should be done through a institution that's going to be a witness, like the Paris Club, the London Club, and that facility, I have to apply for it as a loan before you come and construct the road for me. Because if I engage you directly, the institution the world is designed in such a way that there are certain things you want to give to me that I must involve the financial institutions. And that's what Nigerians hear about loan. It's tied to something. There's no nation that is compelling you to take a loan to come and construct road. It is the knowledge that a particular country has that you needed in your own country. So it will be designed through a financial model, which is called loan, which is called borrowing.
Is that why in 2 years this administration has borrowed so much?
That is what the economy, the misleading language from the economists.
Okay.
It's the misleading language from the economists. And the elite are not helping matters. Elite understand clearly that the transaction between Ukraine and the Western world and America in the war going on with Russia is designed like a loan matter. Trump brought it up, and I quickly called people's attention to that. Did you see what I'm saying? The war is prosecuted on behalf of Ukraine with a barter for their resources. That's how it's done all over the world. So it's only when it comes to Nigeria that the elite who is supposed to educate his driver, his cook, his staff, that they will be the people that have discussed in the Ghana. They are just taking loan. They won't give the correct education. So the elite in the media, elite in the banking, in the financial institution, in the economy, in the military, are actually the major challenge we have in this country. They give misleading information about us, the way we proceed. Look at the removal of a subsidy. Look at the way it is demonized. And look at what it's turning out. And nobody bothered to give it the required energy to praise the administration the way they have taken out their energy to condemn for removing the subsidy. Because the picture we have in mind is what is happening. It's going to be fluctuating. It's going to come down to this, it's going to come up. It's going to be determined by the forces in the market. If there are breakthrough in the oil sector where someone say that I want to make more money, I want to make more sales, my price is this and that, the price will rather go up or come down. It's determined by that. And that's the point expansion we are offering people there. So for our economy is going in the right direction. Don't allow the economics to traumatize us. Let's prepare our mind that it's not going to be as fast as Max Payne, the fastest runner in Nigeria, Ben Johnson. It's not going to be Ben Johnson speed.
If we don't
it's going
depend,
to be gradual.
if you say we should not depend on economists to tell us,
because they give misleading.
But what about real life structures? Real
what
life
I'm saying is that these are the challenges the government should have prepared our mind for. That you are going to go through all these things, but the government lack that courage, which is a minus on the side of the government.
All right, so administration.
Like if the government did not prepare, a doctor did not prepare my mind if I'm going through a surgery, and you allow a pharmacist to tell me that you are going to feel good, you are going to feel as if you are in heaven, I will hate the doctor. I will think he's not doing his job for me. But when the doctor himself, the government himself prepare our mind that these are challenges that we are going to encounter if you are going to overcome these challenges. So, half of Nigeria who doesn't want will not believe. Which I don't believe in nature. But half of Nigeria, let's listen to what the government is saying. And let's also be reasonable about where we find ourselves today, that we can't overcome it. I kept saying it. anywhere on your program several that let us prepare the mind of Nigerians. It's not going to be as fast as we assume. In fact, these 4 years, it's going to be, this is the picture for the whole of this 4 years. And it shows clearly that we are getting it right. No strike, no, dollar is stabilizing. And as a result of that, the removal of subsidy has enabled many governors to be able to have access to more money. What are they doing with it? Which is the question that Nigerians should be asking them. 97% of our money before is used to service loan. 3% is just what you are able to use to do road and pay salaries. But now, with the number of subsidy, it has increased to 36%. The remaining for servicing of loans, which means governors are having more money. That's why no state is borrowing money again. It's only the federal government. And the federal government is borrowing money not because of deficiency, because the global trend is that it's transactional. Loan is transactional. If other countries in the world want to transact, they will pass through the same route. So economists in Nigeria, the elite, make a presentation in a very misleading manner. And that's why I kept saying that, no, that's the correct language to use for our people. It's not to say that because the government is not is not in control of the process, that's why they are borrowing. That's what they are implanting in the mind of Nigeria, which is wrong. So we will be passing through unnecessary rigor, unnecessary pain to say that's government. Whereas, if you look around ourselves, things are not as bad as many elites are painting it. The student-based loan, they even give them, apart from the school fees, they give them stipend.
Is it not the same loan scheme that has its own scandal right now?
It will have its own challenge. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying challenge, scandal.
No, it will have. Scandal is a challenge. It will have. Some people will want to monopolize it, which is not the fault of the government. The people who are doing that is some officials in government, and it's not designed to put money in the pocket of the president. It's a global trend now that education is no longer as cheap as the Awolowo days. If Awolowo had been alive today and is in government, he won't run for education again because complexity is setting. It's not about how to do accounting of those days. Accounting is becoming more complex. There are packages and accounting. Pharmacy is becoming more complex. New medication has to come up. You have to do all sorts of research in the medical field. In what countries kept acquiring more armament. So any student you want to go and learn about missile, intercontinental, tab bombing and things like that, weapon mass destruction, it's expensive. You go to space, come back, do all sorts of things. So individuals, they cannot train them again. It's not only in Nigeria. So they assist them that we need you. The nation needs this kind of knowledge to survive. And as a result of that, you don't have the capacity to train yourself. Let's give you this loan. So so you see young people, why? You see, it is because the economy of the parents is bad. That's why they are giving them loan. It's misleading.
All right, so administration after administration seem to be missing out on the issue of harnessing the power of transparency and accountability. And from what you have said, that this administration also didn't prepare the minds of the people towards, going through this phase of our lives.
Yes.
So why do you think we have still not realized?
If there's anything I will blame all governments since 1999 for, including this government, is what you have said. That the fear to explain difficult situations to Nigeria, they are missing it. The fear to have the courage to say that the situation in this sector is bad, and we may not come out of it now. It's better to say it and be booed. And then when the anger has simmered, Nigerians will agree that no. Of course, rather than painting it or following.
We call it propaganda.
Yes, propaganda. That's not help me. We must, no matter how bad the situation is, even if it's classified, declassify it. We need to know. So maybe it is as a result of military mentality that is being inherited by the political class. Military don't explain anything to anybody. They just do decree. They came and they left without taking permission from Nigeria to do anything. Look at the constitution too. No permission, no, they just handed over the constitution. That's what they know how to do. That's how they know how to do it. You can't blame them. We should blame ourselves for allowing them to come and take over power. So for democratic personnel handling our fear, it is unfair to behave like in that sense. And it is an opportunity for every Nigerian to encourage all the elective office holder and appointed public office holder, either career, to say that whatever you are doing, including even the thing they have achieved. They talk to elite, and I say, you need to boycott the elite. 90% of elite don't believe what you have said. And a part of that 90 decided not to believe what you have said, as choosing to listen more to what bad people will say about the government. Boycott them, find a way of talking to the people who are most affected by the challenges we are facing. In the marketplace, in the church, in the mosque, in the villages. These are populated rank and file of our society. So that it's not what his Oga said in the car that I took back to his mother, and it will keep spreading. So government must find a way of trying to boycott this seemingly elite and the intermediary between the government and the people.
There's this agency in government that they seem not to be using properly. That's the orientation agency, national orientation agency.
It is the structure they met on ground that they will work on. And it's because the agency is doing its best. You see them writing news every day, publishing paper. It's elitist. And it's the same approach that the government is using. It has also inherited. So there's a need to rework it in such a way that you will be able to talk Nigeria, not at a seminar venue, not at symposium venue. Nigeria is a predominantly grassroots society. So there's no Nigeria that will offer certain explanation that will not be patriotic enough to say that let's give them time to be able to do what they are doing. Let them consolidate. With what we have seen, they are doing their best. Because looking at all these sectors, more legislation are coming up to say that there are things that we may not allow to come into this country again, which is the new law in place now. If you can produce it in Nigeria, we are moving in the right direction. The dollar fluctuation is going to be consistently determined by what kind of business are you doing as a nation. Oil and gas, telecoms, origin, agro-allied. Nigeria is not doing anything except oil. So you don't expect at the international market, where dollar is the currency of transaction, for anybody to take your naira serious. If it's only oil they want to come and do in your country. You are not doing tourism. You don't have any airline. You say you want to be importing. So except you grow your economy, your base, your commercial base in terms of what can Nigeria offer. Like in China. China is in all the sector. It's in telecoms, it's in origin, it's everywhere. So at any day, dollar and the Chinese currency will also be slugging it out. Whereas in our own case, it's slugging us all the time, except now that it seems to be gathering some strength to be able to give some punch back to dollar again. So what determines it is what we have said. And the way to reverse the trend is to encourage states to do more in terms of allowing the state to have access to their own resources, in terms of the resource control, so that each state will be identified with its own peculiar strength. His own peculiar strength. That's what strengthens a nation. And that's what I think is the next direction for Mr. President now.
All right.
It's looking seriously about agriculture. It's paying attention to the taxing system of the institution that every country must seem to be working. You must contribute to the economy. You can't wait for Lagos and Kano and Rivers State to bring their money at time before you do something for your state. No, that era has passed.
All right. So in 2 years, recently, there's this fear that this administration seems to be driving democracy towards becoming a one-party state, and there's been this fear, So, is this part of the renewed hope agenda?
We must have our head on top of our head. Somebody should not be thinking for us. Don't let us submit our superior intelligence to these boys in these parties to think for us. The clear indices of a one-party state is not present in this instance. It's not present at all.
Okay.
If APC is making progress by bringing more people to his party, it shows the deficiency in PDP, Labour, and all other parties. It's a deficiency. So they turn the table around to now blame a successful party to say that your product is selling. You are selling us out of market. What's my business about that? Nobody is compared. Suppression of views is one of the central things to one-party state. Suppression of views, denial of fundamental human rights. Laws will be broken. And you see clearly that this is an incipient fascism. This is an incipient dictatorship. That's not the case with us in Nigeria. You know very well that PDP has lost one leg and is about to lose the second leg. Labour is in shambles. Is that the fault of APC? I know very well that one of the central things that makes your democracy work is the healthy nature of your political party.
Yeah.
If your political party is not strong, your democracy will have a challenge. And once your democracy is having challenge, governance and dividends of governance will be denied. So I'm not happy that opposition is weak. So I blame them more for that. I blame opposition more for giving Nigerians the impression that they can offer credible opposition, whereas they are weak. So let's have a set of committed young people who want and are always be willing to offer what Nigerians needed, which in terms of alternative. This set of opposition, they are a disappointment. Let's say it today or tomorrow, I always vote for Tinubu. But that does not mean that I should be happy that there's no viral opposition. There should be viral opposition. If you look at the success in Lagos since 1998, it's actually opposition that is making it grow stronger. Because as friends, we may not see challenges that is confronting our friend in government. But enemy of the government will see it, and they quickly address it. And that's the case with last man, insecurity, economy, education, health sector for Lagos. It has always been what the people have said about them. They quickly address it. That's what we want. We want perfect, reasonable, civilized opposition. You see, when you do things wrongly, it's going to come back to you as a consequence. They run opposition like a vendetta. Opposition is alternatives to what my colleague in government is doing. It's not persecution. The way they run it, let's put the entire country down. It's returning back, but people begin to say that, no, this is not what we ask you to do. We say you should give demand alternative. You said what he's doing is incorrect. You now say the government should shut down. No, that's not. So people distance themselves away. So crash setting, failure setting. So see, the Moral Monday movement in America that's consistently talk about moral issues in the US and things like that. Trump get an alliance with them. The short sense is what Trump is saying, that no gay, no lesbianism, no. So they had an alliance and they work together. And it worked for Trump. They talk like that. Trump is committed to certain issues. The same thing, other people who felt that America for America, they gravitated towards Trump. People who felt that Americans have been denied from having access to gun to defend themselves. The minimal amount. That's how to run opposition. And on the basis of that, you won for the second time. That's not the case with their own. They'll be looking for what will bring the government down. Nigerians got down those days. People don't think like that again. People genuinely may want change. But once you know that you're not offering change, what you are looking for is vendetta, is hatred. They will not take you serious. And that's why it appears as if the APC has not been able to explain themselves better, like we are doing. And it's not your fault. Don't be defensive. The fault is the opposition, who says that the national government that is coming on board, who says that you should be talking to APC that spread the participation. Let youth know, and let's all admit that we have failed the young people. Don't keep saying that we have offered the youth something. If you say we have failed, it's not the fault of APC or the fault of Tinubu that we have failed the youth. Let's admit all of us have failed the younger, including me. The people before me has failed me. I didn't fail anybody, they failed me too. So let's first admit, then let's begin to define what kind of nation the young people, they don't seem to understand that kind of country they live in. So then proceed. You will see people becoming the member. No ideology is totally a failure. People will begin to have faith in PDP, they will have faith in Labour, it keep getting stronger. That was not how APC did it. The way APC did it is programmatic. They look at all the things that PDP has done that are not doing. They said this is the solution. They had a manifesto. And we saw their own manifesto. Okay, you are going to look at the political structure of Nigeria. Okay, APC seems to be the better alternative because PDP seems to have addiction for this structure. And this structure the country is designed in such a way that it should not work with this structure. So any part that has addition for I won't be part of I won't support. So I saw it in APC that APC actually recognized the fact that the structure has a challenge. So this kind of ideology is missing in PDP. Young people are beginning to read more to understand what is political theory, what is political ideology, what is manifesto, what is the program for a party and for government. So they do themselves in. It's not APC at all.
Okay.
I want to encourage, they need to put it behind them.
All right, please, because of time, let's move on to issues of the anti-corruption drive. Because we say that corruption is high, corruption is eating up the fabric of our nation. Now, what, in your own opinion, has been achieved in this anti-corruption drive?
Is it, like I said, is the institutions is like a human being too. ICPC and EFCC has a lot of wind blowing against them.
Against them?
Yes. And if we don't build a barricade around them, it's going to consume everybody in FCC the way it has consumed Farida, the way it has consumed the first chairman, the way it has consumed this last chairman, Bawa. It may consume the present guy too if we don't build a barricade to understand that at any point in time, corruption will always fight back. And if they want to come and fight, they won't come and fight as a corrupt person. They will bring issues that will look very interesting to you. The biggest issue now is that house in Abuja. Is going to fight back. Yes, we should prepare for it. They should brace up for it. For Nigerians, we should be ready for them. See, when you offer support to institutions, it emboldens them, it strengthens them. So they are overwhelmed. Let us know that we are talking about former ministers, former governors.
But nobody is really being brought to book. Except Emefiele.
They have 7,000 conviction in the last 2 years. And that's why I say that the government, I don't know what is wrong. They don't talk. I'm not a member of EFCC. Why do I know this? Why is it that the public didn't know it? If I follow it, Nigeria should not be following any information. You should be following Nigeria with informations. So that people will say, no, you are doing well. They are doing very amazing work. Why do we move ourselves close to? We know that this is an institution. Everybody that has been the chairman of EFCC has some outstanding profile before they. But by the time they are leaving, they live in tatters.
Yeah.
And that's because the people you are combating, they are stronger than you. They are stronger than ICPC. In fact, they are stronger more than the government of the day. So, for us to make it work, let's make up our mind. There are certain things we should not listen to again about this institution. If there are genuine cases, of course, let's fight it out. Look at what has happened to Yabilo. They were my colleagues and friends that were defending Yabilo before. He's been trampled, they are trampled on his right, this and that. ABC government still came and said, no, we are not going to let that case go. We are going to bring this man to do as in court now. For you to tell you that EFCC seems to be dignified in what they are doing. But the people's power is always the strongest power in any country. If EFCC didn't enjoy the power of the people, if they keep plotting the people against ICPC and EFCC, they won't perform. No chemical to perform experiments in laboratories. Where are the money? Where are it's gone into private profit. Somebody will not say something about EFCC. They will quickly say, let's condemn. Power should go. This one should go. So we have to look at the JAMB issue. The JAMB guy is very adamant in all this that he has done since he came on board. He share money. And he brought out a system that we know will have a challenge. Of course, it will have a challenge. They go for a jugular. It almost consumed him. So every institution that is trying to do something that's going to help the nation, beneficiary of that rot will come and fight. Yeah. That is the last stage of liberation for a country. If the people they have not gotten to the point where they know very well that this tsunami that is coming to consume this institution is because of the fight for the poor people. And we're not allowed to go, to pass. We won't allow it to go. So many occasions are that this plot, we get deceived by it. I'm going for it. So don't let us be deceived by any plot again about EFCC. We warned about Bawa. We warned people about Bawa. We warned about Magu. We kept warning that this is, let's be careful. Should we keep bringing our good people down every time just because they're after one high-profile political office holder?
All right, so what should people expect from this administration in the next 2 years?
We should speak in unison. We should speak in unison to guide the president. Don't let us leave initiative to the government at all time. Give them little opportunity to decide for us. The remaining should be decided by us. And one of the first things on the agenda is that we should tell the president that we are behind you on the issue of state police. It's the way we can come out of food insecurity in Nigeria. When state cannot secure their farmers and the farmland, we not go anywhere. The power sector, what are the state doing about it? These two critical things, join with energy. What are states doing about refineries? Let them have their own refineries. So we should keep pushing.
There's a
Mr.
lot
President.
that can really be done.
Yeah, let's keep pushing the president that we need state police, we need the power sector, states should come and take over. Then energy, the state should have access to energy. Let there be refineries everywhere. See, if we compare, and it can be solved through this administrative means. The current structure can solve it. It should show this re-engineering that can bring us out of it. So more of assertive, being assertive to the president that you need to do this, Mr. President. There's nothing you want to do with this structure that your predecessor has not attempted to do.
Done, yeah.
Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, Jonathan, Buhari. There's nothing you want to come and do with this structure. We know clearly that for these 2 years, for you to be on your feet, you have done amazingly. But to be able to come out of your office, different from the way Obasanjo has come out of office by booing him, we did it to Obasanjo, we did it to Jonathan when he was going, that you can go, just go. We did it to Buhari. If you don't want to be out of office, don't rely on this structure. It is, you are going to be thoroughly misled to think that there's something you want to offer with this structure. Don't be misled to think that there's a magic you can do with this structure and you are in line.
Does the body language tell us anything about the next 3 years that things will change?
Yeah, this taxing system that he has embarked on is a sign that he is committed to it. He explained to Nigerians, particularly our northern brothers, that to restructure Nigeria is not anti-NATO. It's going to bring better life to everybody. Have access as a state to your resources. Sokoto people should defend Sokoto people, Sokoto state. Kano people should defend Kano people, Lagos should defend. Then the taxing system, let people understand that your resources buried on ground is going to promote poverty if you think it is the resources of other states that you want to use to give good life to the people of Kano state. No. So Nigeria should be more of what next should the government do than waiting for them that what's going to be you are doing. No, we'll be making error. All over the world, their government is guided by the people.
Okay.
It's a movement that the people must be ready to guide their people. And let's base up our mind that the pace they are going, they can't go faster than don't let us crash. Except if you want us to be borrowing again the way the previous president did to assuage our noise that we are making, and it becomes a big burden to us again. And that borrowing is a system designed for the world today, for country to survive.
All right.
Every country have access to. Thank you very much for having me.
It's a very interesting conversation, but we really need to end it now. And of course, it's a conversation that will continue. Thank you so much for lending your voice to this very critical conversation.
Thank you for bringing me.
Thank you so much. All right, so we'll halt the discussion there. But of course, like I said, it's something that is continuing. So we'll continue with the discussion at other times. We'll go on to the next segment of the program, which is, of course, it's always about Lagos State, showcasing what Governor Sanwo-Olu is doing, developmental strides in different sectors of the Lagos State economy. So please enjoy that, and we'll bring the program to a close. Thanks for watching. I am Jumoke Michaels. Bye-bye.